Great day, kings and queens. Yeah, welcome to another conversation with Drew. And this is a wonderful Wednesday. Truly, it's humbling to share this gift with you guys. And it's also truly an honor, to share the knowledge and wisdom and experience that I've gained through my experiences and studying, and which is causing me to become the best version of myself. Also, I'm just very grateful that I'm able to use this, to help you stretch and become the best version of yourself. It's truly amazing. Again, this is a wonderful Wednesday. The sun ain't quite out today. It looks a little gloomy today, but the sun is still shining in my heart. Man, this one right here, is why am I here? I want to touch on a few of these important questions that we ask in our lifetime that sometimes never are answered, and yesterday I touched on which one I hit on yesterday. I believe it was man, there'd be so many I'll be touching on. I'm sorry, man. My brain just be going. I want to say, who am I? Who am I? I touched on who am I yesterday, and today I'm touching on why am I here? Great morning, Queens. Great morning, Queens, and great morning, Queens. But why am I here? Right? It's a very, very important question. A lot of people ask that question, whether you are the president of the United States or whether you're a bum sleeping up under the bridge. Everybody wants to know, why am I here? And that's the one of the most important questions you can ever ask. And a lot of times it's not being answered because people are not teaching you that in school. You're being taught to find a career, and that's not the truth. We weren't designed to find a career. We were designed to fulfill a purpose. And you have to get to the place of desiring this in your heart. And that's why I constantly come on here on these videos, to constantly remind you. Thank you, Queen. I constantly want to remind people that you have a significant reason here in the earth. And so, I constantly use the word purpose, and the meaning of the word purpose is the original intent of a thing. That's just like if somebody was to say, what is the purpose of a car? Purpose of an automobile is to get you from a destination faster than you would get from walking or biking, and so that was the purpose of an automobile, because they used to have horse and carriage, back in the day. And so now we have a automobile that can take you there faster and a lot more comfortable. And so when you understand the original intent of a thing, you begin to recognize that you just wasn't born just to be born. You just wasn't born to exist. You wasn't born to survive. You wasn't born just to live until you die. You were born, and you were born for a purpose. You have a significant reason in this earth. You have value in your life. You are worth more than what people can ever fathom and imagine. You're worth more than what people ever told you are. Great morning, Queen. And so this is why we have to recognize that if I'm here for a purpose, then that means that I'm important. That means that I have value. And so that means that I must take the time out to figure what that is. A lot of us in life, we find our worth in what other people have said. We find our worth in other people's validation. And the problem with that is like, when a dog asks another dog why it's here, all it's going to do is say, "Arf!" Like it can't tell it why it's here. So what if that dog is just having a bad day? You know what I mean? And that other dog asks another dog, why is it here? What is my purpose? And so the reason why I say that is, nobody can tell you why you're here. Nobody can tell you what your purpose is. People can hit around it, you know what I mean? But nobody can tell you who God created you to be, who the creator of the universe created you in this moment, in this season, in this lifetime, in this generation to be. And so when I begin to go through my own personal transformation, when I begin to go through my own journey in soul searching as we call it in life, I begin to understand that there was something more significant for my existence than being obese. There was something more significant for my existence than growing up in the hood, growing up in poverty. There was something more significant for my existence, than just being here and having children. There was something more significant for my existence than just growing up in a single parent home. There was something more significant for my existence than facing a mandatory minimum of 10, a maximum of 20 to life in prison. There was something more significant in my existence. And so I began to search for that. I began to ask the question, like, man, why am I here? And the beautiful thing about it is the universe has to answer that. It has to provide you with that answer. Just like it provided you with the answer of how am I going to pay my bills? You got a job. Just like it provided you with the answer of, of me feeling alone, you got a significant other. Just like it provided you with the answer of, how can I lose weight? It provided you with a gym. You'll always get the answer to these things. It's just that, are you asking the question? And so now that I'm giving you this information, consciously you'll begin to ask the question over and over and over again, why am I here? And I began to find and discover the truth when I went back to what the basic instruction before leaving Earth told me in the book of Genesis. And as I began to study it, I found out truth, because even in religion, I never found that truth. I don't get on here to beat down religion. I get on here to spread the truth. And I don't personally believe in religion. I don't believe in rituals. I don't believe in these ritualistic practices, to get answers and get things out of life. I personally don't believe in it. I was in it my whole life. I was in it for 30 plus years. So I know what it is, but I don't personally believe in it. I believe in God. You know what I mean? I believe in his word. I believe in his truth. I believe in his purpose. I believe in his will, but I personally don't believe in religion. And so I could never get the answer in religion until I began to search and really look for the truth of why are we all here. And so in the book of Genesis, it talked about when we were created. You know what I mean? Like when we were created in God's image and likeness. And I want to touch on this real fast before I move forward. You have evolutionists out there that say that we evolved. We evolved from salamanders to tadpoles and became monkeys and apes and walked around, and then we evolved and we became human beings. The only problem with that is this. You say that the human body evolved, right? But how did the spirit of man evolve? That's the question that you have to ask, because we are the only species in the earth with that if you ever read about a greater entity, if you ever studied something far greater than the human being, and which is, again, whatever you call him, if you call him God, if you call him the universe, if you call him cosmic energy, if you call it infinite intelligence, whatever you choose to call it, right? If you study that, right, you'll see a certain pattern in certain things and how things work. And we are the only things that reflect that image in any way. The only things. No animal, no reptile, no insect, nothing else in the earth reflects that image in any way, meaning that when you study the creator used his mindset, he used his ideas, he used his thought, and he spoke his thought and expressed his thought, and he created. So we are the only things with that capability that can use our mind and our ideas to speak things into existence and materialize and create these things. We're the only species that can do that. So it's hard to believe that we came from a monkey when you can go to the zoo right now and ain't no monkey or no Caesar from the Planet of the Apes. You know what I mean? Like, ain't no monkey or no ape in there speaking. Ain't no monkey or no ape in there creating. And that's why you have to be very careful when you talk about things like evolution, because again, if the human body evolved, how did the spirit of God in each and every one of us, the spirit, how did that evolve? You know what I mean? So when you was a monkey or when you was an ape or when you was a salamander or a tadpole, whatever the case may be, you wasn't speaking things into existence. You weren't creating things. So again, you have to really ask that question, like, how can that be true? Because we are the only being in the earth that if you ever read about a higher power, you'll see the reflection through us. That's it. So anyway, I just wanted to touch on that for all you evolutionists out there. And so it says that we were created in his same image and likeness, right? But it didn't just stop there to say that, oh, well, you're just created in the same image and likeness. He then gave you a purpose or will. he began to express why. He said, well, let them have dominion. You have to understand what dominion means. It means power. It means authority. It means rule. It means mastery. It means leadership. And when you look into the earth, you see people who have power. You see people who have authority. You see people who have rule. You see leaders in the universe. You see masters of things in the universe, whether it's science, or whether it's math, or whether it's metal, or whether it's gold, or whether it's silver, or whether it's speaking, or whatever, or teaching, whatever it may be. You see masters of something in the universe. So it is apparent that what that word said has to be true in some shape, fashion, or form, right? Right. So again, he then gave us a purpose. He gave us a reason, or the original intent. He allowed us to know why we were created in his same image and likeness. Only a king can say, have dominion. That's a king's word. That's a kingdom word. Have dominion, power, authority, rule, mastery, leadership. But then, okay, if I'm to have power, if I'm to have mastery, if I'm to have rule, if I'm to have leadership, then how do I do that? And that's when he implemented himself in the form of gifts. That's why it says a man's gift will make room for him and bring you before great men. He implemented his treasures inside. That's why it says that he imparted these treasures inside these earthen vessels, or these jars of clay. And so we then get to touching on our giftings, right? Our uniqueness. What makes us unique? That's what this B is. I know it's a little backwards, but the B is that we are all one being, all one human being with a unique gift. That's what the dot means. Because each and every one of us has a unique gift. Each and every one of us has a special something about ourselves. Each and every one of us was created with a purpose, and we have many gifts inside of us. My gift is the gift of influence through speaking. This is not something that somebody set me down and taught me. This is not something that I went to school with. This is something that was always in me, that when I spoke and opened my mouth, I was able to captivate the crowd. I was able to speak to the masses. I can be talking about a hamburger, a Big Mac from McDonald's, but by the time that I was done talking about that Big Mac with the passion and conviction that's in me naturally and organically, I convinced 9 out of 10 people to go try that Big Mac. That was always my gift. That was something that was always inside of me. And that was just like last night, right? My brother King K Camp, when we were at the shop last night printing out these shirts, right? Fulfilling these orders for this huge event that we have coming up, and my gifting is speaking. My gifting is the gift of influence. My brother's gift is the gift of creation. He's a creator. You know what I mean? He loved the process of making a shirt. And so as I'm sitting there helping him, you know what I mean? And I'm enjoying it because it's truly exciting to see the process come together. So I'm enjoying it, but I'm looking at my brother as he's in it and he's doing it and he's pressing the shirts and we cutting it out and we printing it and so forth and so on and pressing. I'm watching my brother in his element. I'm watching my brother do what he loves to do. And it made me enjoy it even more. Why? Because he was operating in his gifting. Now, when somebody put a B shirt on, or a B hoodie on, or a B hat on, or a B jacket on, they're getting his gift in the form of a shirt, in the form of a product, in the form of a hat, in the form of a gift. So when you understand that, right? When you understand that, because we spent probably about 10 hours yesterday in the lab getting in that work, right? But it felt like 30 minutes because we were in purpose. We were operating in our gifts. So it felt like no time had really passed by. We got a lot accomplished, but we felt like we didn't, because in all of that time and all that we got done, it felt like time moved so fast, yet it stopped. Because we were operating in our purpose. We were operating in the original intent on why Andrew Clayborn and Keith Camp was born. But we're now able to take that same thing and we're able to give that to other people. That will change lives, that will impact lives, that will influence lives, because that is why we were born. It says, why am I here? I'm here for the reason of speaking. I'm here for the reason of shedding truth. I'm here for the reason of giving light through words. K Camp is here to shed truth. K Camp is here to shed light through the form of creation products. You have to understand, we didn't go to school for this. You have to understand that nobody taught us how to do this. We were born to do this. This was inside of us before we even came into the earth, because this was inside of God where we all dwelled before we were sitting here in the earth. You have something that's so amazing inside of you that we need in this generation. There's never been a Be the Brand before. There's never been a speaker like me before. You got passionate speakers out there like Eric Thomas. You got people who out there who speak the word like a Bishop T.D. Jakes. You got people out there who use personal development like a Joel Osteen. You have people out there who have all of these many gifts, but nobody was packaged up like Drew Clayborn to get out here and speak truth the way that I was designed to. Because I am walking in what I was created to do. K-Cam is walking in what he was created to do. He had that idea when he was eating out of trash cans. When he was living in his car homeless. What you have to understand is that we were created for this moment in this generation, and so were you. You can go through any text that talks about the creator and the creation of things, and it will never tell you that you are here to get a job, to seek a 401k, and to then seek retirement. You'll never find that. You'll never find that. Why? Because when it talked about man being placed in the presence of God, which was Eden, the first commandment what we were told was to work. The word work in Hebrew is the word edagon. The word edagon means to become. That's why Jesus Christ will always say things like, I'm here to do the work of my Father. I'm here to work the works of my Father. You had to know that I was about my Father's work. Why would he keep using the word work? I'm here becoming who I was created to be. I'm here to fulfill my purpose. I'm here to do his will. Why would he keep saying, not my will, but your will being done? Why? Because we were all sent into the earth for a purpose. And then check this out, right? When he was on the cross, right? He didn't say, I'm finished. What did he say? He said, it is finished. What is it? The work, the purpose, the will, the original intent on why I'm here. It is finished. Not I'm finished, because the spirit man never dies. It's eternal. So he wasn't talking about death. He was talking about the works being complete. That's what you have to understand, kings and queens. On this very day, this morning, it was already designed for you to hear this truth, to hear this word. So 20 years ago, when Facebook Live wasn't created, 20 years ago, when I didn't know anything about purpose, 20 years ago, when iPhones weren't yet created, 20 years ago, when all of these things weren't even ideas in the human mind yet, this stuff was already happening. It was already happening. Because it was designed and created for it to happen. Therefore, you have to understand that your life, the original intent for your life is unfulfilled because you're still here. Again, in democracy, in the world of America and in other countries, it tells you to get a job, get some benefits, and then retire. When we die, we're supposed to say it's finished. And we're supposed to go. I never retire from doing this. You'll never retire from your purpose in life. You can't. It's the reason why you're here. You weren't created for a 401k and a retirement. You weren't created for that. You were created to be so great that when it's all said and done, that they remember your name for forever. Forever. You're supposed to have something so impactful that when people say and talk about you, they say, man, it had to be God. That had to be something something far greater than the human being. There had to be something so significant to allow that person to do that. That's what we're talking about here. Your gift, your reason for existence, the original intent for you. Again, the original intent and the original idea for man was what? Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, over the cattle, over everything that creeps upon the ground, over all the earth. You were sent here to have dominion over in your area of gifting. That's why we call people like Michael Jackson what? The king of pop. Aretha Franklin, the queen of soul. Elvis, the king of rock and roll, because while they were here, they had dominion over their areas of gifting. That's what you have to recognize, that you have that same authority, that same ability. It doesn't even matter if you're a master at strategy, or if you're a master in architect, or if you're a master in computers. You were created for something so significant that when you go into that atmosphere, it changes forever. It changes forever. People have no idea that what I am doing is I am perfecting my craft. So when the opportunity presents itself for me to speak to billions of people, that I'm so polished, that I'm so ready, because I know I was created for it. All I'm doing is exercising my gift. All I'm doing is cultivating my gift. All I'm doing is what? Being the word edagon, becoming. I'm becoming what I was created to be, a world leader. People who go around the entire globe and help bring people together, speak truth to people, shed light on things, and allow this world to become one truly and grow the way that it was created to be. You have the authority to go in any atmosphere, in any ethnos, in any nation, in anything from politics to entertainment, and have a great influence and impact that when people see you, they say that there had to be something greater working in that individual. You're not here to retire. You're not here to collect checks. I mean, in the sense of a job. The difference between your job and your work is your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. Your job, they can fire you from. Your work, they can't hire. On your job, they determine your salary. In your work, you determine your worth. You were born to work, meaning you were born to become something so great, something so significant that the world will remember your name. I don't do this for me. I do this because I know I was created to do it, because it's going to bring glory to my Father, but more importantly, it's going to impact the world. It's going to change it. People always complain about things being a certain way, but they don't understand that you have the power of a superhero to make the things change. Excuse me. To make the things change. Your work is waiting for you. Your work is already in you. Your work is what you were sent into the earth to do. You were not sent here to be a son, a daughter, a mother, a father, a husband, a wife, an employee. You wasn't sent here to do that. Whoever told you that lied to you. And I don't care if it was your own parents, they lied to you. They lied to you. You were sent into the earth to impact people's lives through your gift, through your gift, through your gift. It says a man's gift will make room for him and bring him before great men. It never said a man's job. It never said a man's career. So the question that you are constantly asking or silently asking is, why am I here? You are here on a divine assignment, right? On a divine assignment. You were sent into the earth for this assignment, right? In order to impact this earth for a greater cause, for a greater purpose. Some believe that it's to bring the influence and the culture of heaven here to earth. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth just like it is in heaven. Some believe that. I believe that. I believe that we have that type of power, that type of authority. But the thing is this. You only do in life what you believe. You believe that you can work a job, and that's why you're currently working one. You believe that you can provide enough enough energy in the day to function, to be able to get a check in 2 weeks to pay your bills and to take care of you and your family. You believe that. That is what you believe. And the law says, as you believe, so shall it be done unto you. So when you believe that that's all you're able to do, then that's all you'll ever accomplish in life. I began to study and read and expand my consciousness and began to see that we have far greater capability than working a job. We have far greater capability than collecting a 2-week check. We have far greater capability than retiring. We have far greater capability than collecting a 401k. We have far greater capability. Far greater. And so when I begin to conceptualize that, when I begin to understand that, when my mind began to grasp it, I began to see opportunity all over the world. I began to come within myself. You were conditioned to believe the way that you believe. Many of us went to a public school that taught us about just getting a career. A lot of us attended career centers. This is what we were taught to do. We were taught to pick up a trade. See, you traded in your gift for a trade. I'm going to say that again. You traded in your gift for a trade. And that's why you're so unhappy. That's why you're so unfulfilled. That's why there is no peace and no joy in your life currently right now. Because you traded in your gift for a trade. It never said a man's trade to make room for him and bring him before great men. It says a man's gift. Look at all the greats that we revere to this day. Was there not in time a moment, an opportunity that they were eventually around other great people in their realm? I look at a person like LeBron James. I've seen him be honored and be loved on and be talked to and be around people like Bill Russell, a great in his area of gifting. Around the Kobe Bryants. He was around the Michael Jordans. He was around the greats of his area of gifting. Because his gift made room for him, he can not only take care of his family, but he can do what? He can send money to neighborhoods. He can send kids to college. He can provide families with Thanksgivings and all of these different things because it made room for him, right? Make room doesn't mean that your family is taken care of. Make room is that your family is already provided for, but now you can go provide substantially for other people's family. And then it did what? Brought him before great men. Was the Martin Luther Kings not pictured with the Malcolm X's? Was the Martin Luther Kings not pictured with the Maya Angelos? We're talking about greats being around greats, right? What is the area of gifting that you are interested in? What is the area of gifting that moves you? What is the area of gifting that intrigues you? It's naturally in you. It's organic. It's innate. It's not something that you have to go and you have to find like it's hitting. It's already there. You just haven't spent enough time with you. A book that I read that helped me was Bishop Jake's Instinct. Another book that helped me is The Pursuit of Purpose by Dr. Miles Monroe. Another book that's out there, The Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren. All of these books are trying to educate you, to allow you to know that there is something that's inside of you. And you have an area of gifting that you are supposed to have dominion in, period. And nobody can compete with you. Nobody, let me put that out there. Nobody can compete with you in your area of gifting. But you have to take the time, you have to take the opportunity, kings and queens, to really begin to sit down and look for it. You've never searched for it. You searched diligently to find a job. How many applications did you put in before you got that job? How many applications did you put in before you got that apartment? How many applications did you put in before you got those before you got accepted to college? How many applications did you put in? Okay, well, take that same pursuit, that same energy, that same diligence, that same persistence, that same consistency, and try to find your purpose. And watch what happens. Watch what happens. Inevitably, I guarantee you'll find the reason why you're here. There's clues that's been speaking to you your whole life, your whole entire life, clues that's been leading you to where you are to be. It's natural, it's organic, it's innate. You can't get around it. That's just like a sea turtle. It's born on land, right? A sea turtle, a baby, it's not being led, it's not being taught, it's having to discover it on its own. But when a sea turtle was born on land, innately, intrinsically, it heads towards water. Innately. A baby sea turtle that's just being hatched right out of its egg, it naturally heads towards the water. Why? Because it's instinct. It's inside of it. It's inside of it. Because there's no way the creator of the universe can create a gifting inside of you and not create an atmosphere for you to dwell in. There's no way that the creator of the universe can put a demand on you, but then not give you the supply. There's no way that the creator of the universe will give you his treasures, but then not give you the platform to perform it on. Again, 5 years ago, there was no Facebook Live. Think about all of the videos that I've done up to this time. Nothing has stopped me from creating what was putting me to create. But the reason that I am doing this is because I finally recognized that Andrew Clayborn had a purpose in life. What is purpose? The original intent. The reason why I was born. You were born for an amazing reason, a great cause. You were born to be magnificent. You were born to be one of a kind. You are unique in your own right. And I'm not talking about your eyes or your lips or the way that your hair curl or the way that your body is curved or the muscles you have or your smile. That's cool and all, but I'm talking about the gift that's inside of you. It'll make all of that look even better. The gift that's inside of you is so powerful and is so needed in this generation. Do not go to the grave full. Go to the grave empty. My mentor, Dr. Miles Monroe, said, the richest place on earth, the wealthiest place on earth is not the oil fields of Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia. He said the wealthiest place on earth is not the diamond mines of South Africa. He said the wealthiest place on earth is not the gold mines of South America. He said the wealthiest place on earth is not the silver mines of Central America. He said the wealthiest place on earth is not the uranium mines of the Balkan states. He said the wealthiest place on earth is a cemetery, because so much potential has gone to the grave. So many people never discovered their gift. So many people did not understand that they were authors. So many people took their best-selling books to the grave. So many people took their Grammy Award winning music to the grave. So many people took their Oscar ideas to the grave. So many people took their poems to the grave. So many people took their movies and their arts and all of these different things to the grave because they didn't understand that they were here for a purpose. And they did not die empty. When I die, it's it. They gonna say that Drew did all that he was supposed to do. He poured himself out like a drink offering, like Paul. It was over. That's it. Will they say that about you is the question. Why am I here? You are here to serve your gift to mankind, to make this world a better place. You have the ability to do so. You have the greatness inside of you to do so. You have the commandment on your life to do so. You were caused and created to do so. There is no other reason. You'll be a great mother. You'll be a great father. You'll be a great husband. You'll be a great wife. You'll be a great brother. You'll be a great sister. But that was not why you were born. You were born to have dominion over your area of gifting. Find out what that is. Spend countless time searching for that. Love yourself enough, and love yourself enough to give us that. You owe us that. You owe us that. Let me say that again. You owe us that. I get on here because I owe you this, and you owe us that. Thank you for tuning in. This is another conversation with Drew. Again, this is a wonderful Wednesday. Thank you guys, man. And I want you guys to have an amazing day. I pray that this word impacted your life and blessed you, man. I really am believing in all my heart that you will find your gift in this 2017 that we're about to embark upon, and you will become the best version of yourself upon your recognizing of your gifting, of your influence, of your impact, on your purpose, and why you're here. And I truly believe that with my heart. Again, I have to thank every single person that has donated to the movement, man. You have no idea how much of an impact that you guys are having through these donations. I love you, kings and queens, but remember, it's not a look, it's a lifestyle, because we do this every day not to impress people, but to leave an impression on the earth. If you're interested in being a part of the donation committee, as I call them, inbox me for further instructions, or email me at Andrew D. Clayborn, that's CLAYBORN, at gmail.com. Again, you could just inbox me so I can give you the instructions. I love you guys. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Peace.